Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Championship Series Grand Finals for Season 1 here in Seoul, South Korea. We have had a series of surprising matches throughout the day, both in Group A and Group B. Right now, Axiom's Ryung in the losers bracket in the lower match up against Kangho. The loser of this is eliminated. The winner of this has to face MVP for a spot in the groups.
That's right. So this is the losers match. Both of these players on their run to the Season 1 Grand Finals. Ryung 3-0 versus Moonglade. Kangho 3-0 versus Bomber. Now these two meet each other to decide who gets that chance to play MVP to move on.
And we've been seeing a lot of difficulty for the Zerg players in the Terran versus Zerg matchup when the Terran really knows how to do that biomine style. We've seen that okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. I'm about to make a claim, and I might lie.
Okay, I'll try and
if I lie,
not make you look bad.
It's a good thing there would be no risk of that ever happening. Thanks to having Diapolo. Diapolo's always got my back. He's so great. Here's the thing.
All right.
In long Zerg vs. Terran series, the Zergs win overwhelmingly with all-ins that strike between 8 and 10 minutes. There haven't really been a lot of cases where good biomining players lose late game, except Startail Life.
You are right. You're right.
I advanced from the casters groups. I will be here tomorrow at the round of 8.
You're right. So the question is, does Kangho do that in this series to get those wins?
I mean, I think yes. I mean, the biomine style has a huge weakness to that at that point. I mean, in fact, both of us are turning to see if Liquid TLO can possibly best.
It looks like he may be able to. That's a lot of Ultralisks.
He has a huge Ultralisk army, but he is low on expansions. Again, if you don't know, there are simultaneous streams running here at the On GameNet studio. Twitch.tv/team/WCS_finals. In case that was too fast, go to teamliquid.net, which I'm sure you already know about, and just check out the links up at the top right-hand corner. Right now, in the other group, Group A, that's going concurrently, Alive is up 1-0 against TLO, but this last match is a nail-biter.
It's a nail-biter because that's the last game of Group A. Whoever wins this series goes on to Day 2 of the round of 8. And, of course, we're going to be jumping into our game in a couple of moments. Looks like Luceria or Kangho, should say, or Ryung aren't there.
Nobody is in the game.
Nobody's home. Nobody's home. I do see Ryung, though, over there, who's doing stretches before Day 9.
Yeah.
He was doing lots of. I can't lift my arms all the way up because I'm wearing a jacket suit.
Because believe it or not, these are suits not designed. Oh my God, we're actually getting a look at the other game. Yes.
How did this happen, Day 9?
Oh my God, this is so great. This is so amazing. We're the luckiest people in the world. I love my job.
All right, I need a couple of moments to work this out. Who is
okay,
where.
so right now, Alive down the south side. His 3 bases are basically mined out. He's only recently been able to get up a 4th, but only kind of But Dario's still kind of having a little bit of struggle. He loses that medevac. He loses the medevac there. There's medevacs all over the place. Alive has been so good at doing these harassment drops.
I'm just going to make an assumption that they both fully upgraded at this point.
Yes, they are both. I was watching this match before we had to go on camera.
So Alive does have that 4th on the left-hand side, and he probably is going to take the right-hand side soon. I think it's going to come down to the Fungals, most likely. Here's the audience, by the way, that are actually here in Yongsan. If you're in Korea watching this stream,
get over here.
Get over here. And
oh my God,
that was such a teaser.
Oh, it was a teaser. Oh,
what a teaser!
Put it back.
I don't like Ryung. Put it back.
Not Ryung. No, not Kangho. No.
TLO.
What a disaster. Whoa. Okay, now TLO. Okay, I'm just gonna lean forward and look over at the big screen now.
All right. Well, yeah. It's going to come down to Fungals because there's so many more. Oh, if he gets that base.
Oh, if he gets that 4th base, this would be an amazing win for TLO. By the way, the match is over there, and he gets it. Oh, that's insane. That's insane. Oh my God, I don't think TLO really has any mining bases except that 4th at the right, and that thing's going to be dead so soon.
Yeah, it's still going to come down to the fight.
Oh my God.
Fungals and Ultras, but there's a lot of Ultras in production too.
Yeah, gosh. That is going to be a tough match to call right now. There's absolutely no anti-air, it looks like, for TLO, so... Oh my gosh, this is the tragedy when people who like StarCraft have to cast StarCraft when matches they want to watch are on.
Yeah, you should definitely come, if you're in Korea, you should definitely come down to the OGN studio in Yongsan. Yong, Y-O-N-G-S-A-N.
Is that the Park Mall?
iPark Mall.
Excuse me.
I've always got your back, right?
You always have it.
I always got Day9's back. Yeah, the game's still going on though, but it looks like Ryung's still not in ours, so we'll give that a couple of minutes.
37 minutes into the game, it appears.
I think everyone's watching.
Oh my god,
anyway.
a mine just backfired. There's literally like 3 guys tuned in, like our loyal fans. Yeah, Apollo Day9. Yeah, yes.
Those 3 guys. Those 3 guys. Tilo's got very little money.
God, TLO has just the manliest beard.
OGN is so good at production. They get the player shots right every time.
Just nailed it. Oh my god, he's mined out. Alive has no
it's
more money.
It's 120 supply for TLO versus 140.
Ooh, it's all going to come down to the... There's Kangho.
There's Kangho.
Kangho, there's...
Oh,
he's taking it all off. Mr. Miyagi.
That's Ryung getting ready to go. He's actually joined the game, so we will be jumping into this. Like Day9 said, if you want to go watch Live versus TLO, it is on the other stream, the other OGN one. And we're in a couple of moments here going to be jumping into our game. Because we're actually behind in games. Quite far behind in games. The music
has started!
It's game time!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go into the lower bracket match of Group B. It is going to be Kangho versus Axiom's Ryung. Whoever loses this is eliminated. Whoever wins this has to go up against LGIM's MVP for the final spot in the group.
All right, let's get ready to do this. Remember, Ryung's already played MVP once today, and is he going to play him twice? Or does Kangho get a shot to go to the round of 8?
Wow, the first map is going to be Whirlwind. That is a really tricky map, I think, for both sides.
I think so too. I think so too. All right. We're into the game 1, the round of 16. Group B losers match up here in the top right. It is Team Axiom's very own Ryung.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, the teammate of MVP, it is Kangho.
There's epic music for this epic series. It sounds so good when I got echo in, so it sounds a lot more epic.
Oh yeah, that's really intense.
All right, so you got to keep...
When you don't have the echo, it just sounds like a DDR song. It's like all poppy and cute.
All right, so...
Looks like we're seeing... There's a supply depot going down at the front. Pretty standard. Wow. Alive has eliminated TLO 2-0. Really, really impressive match from Alive. A stunning defense from TLO, but it wasn't enough. That means that group has wrapped up, and we're over here in Group B in the losers match.
And you got to keep in mind the trends of this matchup. You talked about it before. It's if you're going to play straight up against the Terran player, you got to outplay him, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, it's a roughie.
So we may see aggression from Kangho.
I'm kind of the opinion that if you get any inkling that your opponent is going for a standard biomine, just go all in. It has such a high win percentage. And there's like stable all-ins that you can do. You know, you can do things like you go triple base, and then you just do a mass roach with speed. I mean, the problem is that tanks for Terran destroy clustered packs of banelings and clustered packs of roaches incredibly well. But you don't have tanks when you're going biomine. You just have to hope that the mine doesn't backfire. Terrible against dealing with banelings. The Zerglings lead in, the mines go off. It's quite difficult to micro against.
And Kangho's already, taken a gas before his spawning pool here. So there's actually a couple of options that he can go for. He can go as soon as speed is done, because it will be done quite fast in this game because he's already mining gas. He can build quite a few Zerglings in hope to get a surround on the bunker if there isn't a full wall off. Or he can just straight go up for early aggression really fast in this game. He doesn't even need to get speed in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really key point to bring up is that, I can't remember if it's the first, I think it is the first larva inject when that pops off. You do a round of Zerglings and you can strike them at around 540 or 545, and that is just before the Hellions pop out, like 5 seconds before. That's when you can get that bunker surround. It's very, very nice timing. Kangho actually makes it up. A lot of players in old school days would just take the gas to make sure that he couldn't go Banshee Cloak.
Yeah, but with the recent trends, the second gas is almost... Oh, look at that, actually. Takes the second gas. This may be indicative of Hellbat drops, maybe, especially with such early on. It could be, as you said, Banshees, but it is the lesser popular option to go for here. But we'll see. I mean, he doesn't even... Oh, look, he's not even using it. He's not even building it.
Uh-oh. That drone. He sees everything.
Kangho still mining gas with a single drone back at home. He's got Zergling speed on the way, so he does have that option to build a bunch of Zerglings, but that is a risky thing to do. It is a gamble, because if it doesn't pay off, that's drones you should have working for you, making money. But what is Kangho's plan? Maybe he'll just play straight up on Whirlwind. It's a pretty big map, but in these positions, it can be difficult to play straight up, just because the Terran play is quite close towards the Zerg here.
I mean, he just should. He should just do it. Oh, no, he builds the Roach Warning. Why does he build it in the most visible possible location? Wow, that is... What?
Alright, he has the Roach Warren, but he doesn't have that much gas banked up. You know, let's say the Roach Warren finishes. I don't even know what kind of mind game that was, because it wasn't even seen. Unless it was just a change of plan. Like, I love the idea that he selects the Roach Warren, hits escape, and shouts, "Got him!" Like, and now we see the double factory. It's actually going to be a mass Blue Flame Hellion for the same reason that Ling Bane, Ling Bus are very effective on this map. Ooh. Big open ramp. We do know that that's so
what Blue Flame's good.
Unfortunate that there's no Roach Warren with this coming.
It would have been pretty good if he'd let that Roach Warren finish.
But he decided to cancel it, so no Roaches available. And he's going to have to fight against Blue Flame Hellions, and we all know how that goes down.
Well, if you're Startail Life, it goes fine and you win.
This guy, Kangho from Team LGIM, is not Startail Life.
Ooh.
If
and you know, that is the most salient aspect of his Zerg play. The fact that he is not Life. In fact, that's the most salient aspect of every Zerg's play, that they're not Life. Life has the ability to know exactly how long that range is, to move in with the Zerglings, to let the Hellions fire, and to back out and minimize the amount of damage that the Hellions do, because that way he can get yet more Zerglings to hold this off. And there's the Roach Warren. This looks like a second round all-in. He's going to get the Roach Warren. It'll finish right when the layer finishes, and then he can get the Roach speed, do the bust.
Roach upgrades. Look at that coming out from Kangho here. But still, the Roach Warren, I don't think he's just going to, you know, even if he does build a couple of Roaches, I don't think he's going to build more than a couple, as in 2 to 3 to 4.
Well, I think
the Hellions are going to come in big numbers.
I think he will start flooding it. The instant that the layer is done, there's Burrow. Never mind, he canceled Burrow. See, this timing, he will have 1-1 and Roach speed and a pack of Roaches all finishing up at around 9:45. So he should begin building Roaches right when the layer finishes. 50 drones is the number he wants.
He's way above 50 though, surely, with 12 in production. 13 in production.
He should.
57 at this point, 60, and still more popping out, 61, 62. It's a lot of drones.
You just want me to know how wrong that was.
I mean,
61, 62.
4 Roaches and more drones.
No!
He's got nothing to stop these Hellions.
Oh my god, the Hellions hug the Queen. They hug both the Queens to fire. And now it looks like Kangho is going to try to re-wall in with all buildings. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's still trying to string in with a lot of Roaches. He's trying to get in there.
This is a pretty good set of Evolution Chamber
walling
blocks
off
there.
Very impressive.
Just go get these drones, man. Look at that. Look how tasty they look.
There's a drone vein. Oh, if this were in Minecraft, he would have just found a bunch of diamonds and he would begin picking them all down. Oh no, he sees them.
Get the drones.
Oh, Ryung is going to roast him up. Kangho might have to go home after this match because there are so many drone deaths in that engagement. But the Roaches are coming out. They're going to be 1-1 and speed.
Yeah, 1-1 and speed. If he continues to build Roaches, what is at home to actually prevent anything like this? There's a Marauder without Stim, a couple of mines. In all honesty, a massive Roach play would probably be able to pick up this game at this point, but he's building drones. We do have Roach speed and Bailing speed on the way. Very high economy if he's going to start building and pumping out units here. Here comes the Roaches. What's his supply count? Oh gosh, he's got to build overlords as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is an interesting answer from Ryung. I think a lot of people have seen the standard mass Blue Flame Hellion bust in the front, but here he's following up with tanks and Widow Mines and then barracks play. I mean, look at this, 1-1's already done. I don't even think he has more than like 4 Marines. But with that siege tank up with those mines, oh, those mines. Wow.
7 more roaches on the way here. What does he build next? You remember he hasn't researched 2-2 and that 1-1 finished ages ago.
Yep.
So he's continuing to pump out these roaches and soon enough banelings, surely with baneling speed on the way. But with 1-1 done, we're going to see 2-2 start for Ryung. There's tanks, there's mines coming out 3x3. 18 Zerglings, there we go. I don't think, is this breakable? Like he's trying to break through, clearly.
I think M. Night Shyamalan said it best. This is unbreakable.
Okay. Okay.
Whoa.
If only he was a commentator. Well, there's the upgrades coming in. +1 million, +2 carapace. A little bit confusing play here by Kangho.
You know, I think there's some indecision going on where he knows that this is an unbreakable situation. He's going to try to do a light bust here, but he's going to try to follow it up with a 4th base and a hive.
12 aliens being morphed in here. A lot of gas being spent in that direction. The 3rd for Ryung has been evacuated. He's had to pick it up because there are quite a few units coming in. Let's see if he can break it. There's so many mines.
This is going to go so badly for Kangho. There's the 6th gas coming up. So here he's going to begin working his way in. There's a lot of roaches in there. God, the siege tanks deal so much damage, and there's just so many banelings continuing to work their way in.
It looks like he maybe had a break Ryung here. Down to 80 supply, 70 supply. Decent micro picking off those banelings.
Get it.
Roaches do remain, but it is starting to, drop quite slowly here. And with SCVs, doesn't want to lose too many SCVs. The Marines are coming in, 12 Marines, a couple of medivacks, only 9 roaches left. Decent positionally held there by Ryung, and does still have his 3rd base going.
Yeah, I think...
Decent hold there by Ryung.
Wait, is Kangho going for round 2?
Yeah. But there's a lot of units out there. Remember, he killed the tanks, he killed the mines.
This is a very funky situation to be in right now as Ryung. I mean, you don't normally anticipate someone will be doing a bust like this, but I mean, this has just been the Zerg strategy du jour, just mass bust, non-stop, back-to-back. Where's that siege tank? Where are those mines? Oh! Oh, and they all eat the baneling hits. He needs to keep burrowing those mines. This one's going to have to be huge. It isn't. Oh my God, did Kangho just win with an all-in bust?
Yeah, the second wave comes in and he uses too many units. He's got such a high economy. He's on 4 or 5 hatcheries across the map.
Oh, GG, a bitter loss for Ryung,
yeah,
who should have been in fine shape. I mean, mines are so bad against those busts. Use the 2 factories to go double tank production.
High economy bust there by Lucera. It's always going to be one of his trademarks in StarCraft 2. Lots of high aggression. And he's able to pick up the first map against against Ryung, sorry. We'll see what Ryung can do to pull this back going on to the next map, which is Akalon Waste. It's a pretty good map to fall back on.
I mean, drops, such a pain in the ass to deal with. Mech, also a possibility. I still can't believe he just did like the all-in bust. He lost all those drones. I mean, everything was scouted. The roach play was answered. The first round came up, and then... I mean, the real problem with mines is that if they're on the defensive, they can't deal with banelings well at all. Siege tanks, you can shoot over everything and just hit the banelings.
That's exactly what happens to banelings when tanks get in the game.
But you can't do that with just mines.
Well, the problem is with opening tanks and opening them from early is unless you do go for them later on after you get X amount of Hellions, which you kind of have to do because you have to stop creep, you only get 1 to 2 tanks by an attack like that comes.
But I mean, with the double factories, he could have had 4
with double
tanks.
factory. But then again, you take away from your upgrades and your overall marine production. It's a difficult balance. And, you need to find the right balance to get the best of every world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It's very painful for for the Terran fans out there. Because, I mean, so much of Biomine is strong once it's all up and going. Once all the barracks are up and all the factories churning out the mines, everything's cool. But up until about 14, 15 minutes, you're so vulnerable to pretty much any attack. I mean, it's I think, going to define this series. I think it's just going to be, can he hold off the all-in? No. Well, then Kangho's going to win. And if he can, it's going to be Ryung.
Well, Akon Waste is a good map for both sides in terms of that it's okay for Ryung to defend on because there are just a certain amount of ramps to defend a second and third, but it's also not that big of a map on the other hand, where Luceria can get roaches across there pretty fast. We'll see. Zerg players as of recent, and we saw the GSL finals, play straight up die, play aggressive, potentially pick up the wins.
Spawning up in the top left-hand corner from Team Axiom. His teammate is already through. He'd love to be through himself. It is Ryung.
Down here is the guy that's making a big comeback, and is, of course, LGIM Kangho, the piano player. Crazy fingers, whatever you want to call them.
Dexterous digits.
Dexterous digits.
Finesseful fingers.
He really does have fast fingers.
It's true.
Gets these Roach and Bailings out a little bit faster because of his fingers. Plays super fast, super high APM. Alright.
See if that APM can help him do an all-in in this game.
It's very possible. It is very possible. We'll see. As Ryung, like I mentioned, in WCS America, had that 3-0 win over Moonglade. Was looking in pretty good shape, actually. Very clean in his builds and his overall strategy. But Kangho, on the other hand, 3-0 versus Bomber. Bomber's one of these guys that, you know, is make or break a lot of the time. Sometimes he pulls off an incredible game. Sometimes he just flakes a little bit.
Yeah.
But either way, these now are facing in a best of 3 with Kangho currently leading. And then, of course, it just gets even harder going into the next game because it is, of course, MVP waiting.
Yeah, that's really the pain in the bum of all of this. Is that MVP is there waiting?
Yeah.
I mean, Ryung goes up against MVP, already was knocked out by him in round 1. Kangho goes up against MVP, their teammates. That's always an uncomfortable situation. I mean, this group's actually quite unique in that it's 2 pairs of teammates duking it out. Command Center first from Ryung, very conservative play. I think absolutely correct to do on this map. Kangho doing the usual hatch gas pool. I mean, a lot of Zergs are just saying, well, yeah, you should just always get the gas first. You're up against Reaper Hellion so often.
Yeah, and it just gives you so many different angles to go from. Wait a minute. What is he doing? Okay, so he made a bit of a mistake there. And think of MVP's position at the moment. So MVP is sitting now, watching this, waiting. He either A, plays against a player who's already beaten and can think about what he's going to do against him again, or B, watches Kangho play out Zerg versus Terran while MVP's sitting there waiting, thinking about what to do against him. I think MVP's in a good position in this last match.
I mean, MVP honestly is... I think it would be a shock if anyone but MVP made it out of this group, but I think that of all the players in this tournament, Ryung probably has one of the stronger chances to make it through. Kangho, I think, would definitely have an incredibly tough fight. But of course, Kangho can't think about that because he's not there yet. He's 1 game away, though. Very surprisingly, 1 game away.
All right, well, there's the match history between these 2 players. Kangho has edged out 5-3 in their history. Ryung has gone in. He spotted the 100 gas missing from the extractor, well, not really missing, but thrown into the Zergling speed. He realizes that's going to be an option for aggression once again by Kangho, but he did opt for a later timed aggression, but a heavier amount of units, as we saw in that previous game. But the question comes down to how is Ryung going to deal with this? Does he go tanks early? Does he produce a bunch of mines and spread them out? Marauder production, at least a single Marauder is going to be a given here against potential roaches coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's always reasonable. I think, I mean, MVP, I think, is a great person to learn from in this situation where if he thinks you're going Roach, he will build all the units that are good against Roach. He will go, like, tank Widow Mine, Marauder Banshee, and defend with those.
Oh, an armory's come down. Second gas was taken quite early. We are going to have some Hellbat drops.
I love mech play in this matchup. I especially love the Hellbat drop. I think it's one of the strongest openings because not only can it just do devastating damage, ending the game immediately, but then you follow it up with this bio Hellbat force, Marine Hellbat. You avoid the issue of the all-ins because you're doing so much damage to them, they can't really hide the all-in from you by any means.
Do you think that Ryung's going to play mech? You play tanks?
I think he'll go straight into bio Hellbat, just Marine Hellbat after this.
Oh, okay.
But there is a possibility of it.
I mean, MVP in the finals against Stefano in the WCS Europe finals, he played mech and, you know, bio tank, bio mine, bio Hellbat. Played it all, but I'll see if, well, we'll see as a whole here if Ryung's going to be able to play different styles. As we do have the Roach-Warren down. A Overlord gets sacrificed, but doesn't see anything useful. It just sees the factory and the reactor, which is super normal. There is another Overlord to the top right, which potentially could get in there.
Yeah. There's the
Oh, look at that, 8 roaches. 9 roaches coming. 10 roaches.
10 roaches. Do you think it's going to be 11? Oh my god, it's 12?
Yeah,
12? 13?
He can throw down the Baneling Nest down as well and continue to complete this 2-base all-in. There's the Baneling Nest. He's going to go for it. Okay. Hellbat drops. Good and bad against this. Because they're actually very good because if you're able to get across the map and drop, if you kill the Queens, there is nothing stopping the Hellbats from doing damage over and over and over. But are there going to be enough units to defend? There's no mines, there's no tanks, there's no marauders.
Well, one of the best ways to defend in this position is to send